Good evening and welcome to the official co-stream of the back-to-back NBA 2K League champions, Wizards District Gaming. Tonight, the 3v3 champions, Wizards District Gaming, take on, in a rematch, the team they knocked out to take home that title last time in DUX Gaming here in the first round of knockout play. Alongside Chris, my name is John, and welcome to tonight's best of 5 matchup in the Coinbase 3v3 Switch Open. Now, this game was supposed to tip off at 9 o'clock. Guess what they did? Just like in 2K League fashion, they had started it early. So, Chris, while we finish the intro here, I'm actually going to throw it in-game for everyone here to see. So, as of right now, game one, it's 12-11 in favor of Wizards D.G. But let's talk a little bit about what we saw last week from this Wizards D.G team real quick. They had 2 chances to punch their ticket to go to Indy. First one coming up against Hornets Venom GT, which Wizards D.G ended up losing 3-1. That was live broadcasted from the Wizards draft party in downtown Washington, D.C. And then after that, they made a lineup change for that final matchup against the Gen G Tigers, where they won a 5-game thriller, 3-2, to punch their ticket to Indy. And now here we see the starting 5 lineup features B-Rich once again. Now, they're taking out Just Awkward, last year's 2021 Defensive Player of the Year, to try to give teams a new look. What kind of impact is that going to have here for Wizards DG and their opponents here in the knockout rounds, Chris?
Yeah, for sure. So I think it just moves people back to their normal positions. Dayfry is really the only one now playing out of position. Deanie's able to play more of a power forward big role, which is what he plays in 5v5, and B-Rich is able to stay on his normal shooting build that he's on. So I just think that gives more confidence for the team. I know Deanie mentioned to us in a post-game interview that, he might not have been feeling himself at guard, which is, that's the beauty of the Wizards. They're able to move players around and shift things around to make people, to where they're comfortable at best. So I think it's a good switch for them, and so far so good. It's tied 14 here with DUX Gaming.
B-Rich had a chance down low, was blocked aside. Now it's going to be DUX Gaming with the ball. I've been trying to pronounce the last name for DUX, because obviously they changed it from DUX Gaming because they're more than just a 2K League team. They're a whole esport organization in the traditional esport sense. But I failed Spanish, so I'm not gonna attempt to, because I have respect for all my Spanish-speaking friends out there. But Dayfry for the tie makes it 16-16 here in game 1.
Yeah, and I mean, Kelly, as you see, has a sharpshooter badge. He's been doing, before we got on air, he's been doing a lot of ISOing on the guards, just getting threes off. So that's what led him to his badge. So now it's going to be really tough. The Wizards are going to have to play high, and it's going to open up free slips for DUX Gaming.
Kelly in the corner. Ball goes out of bounds. That's going to be a turnover for Wiz DG. It's getting to crunch time again. Just to recap, it's first to 21 by 2 points. Seals the win here in the 3v3 tournament setup. Killy looking to ice it, can't get it. It rims out. Big rebound from Nudini, finding Dayfry, guarded by Killy.
Yeah, that could be a huge swing right there. Killy forcing up a shot, early shot clock with badge. I don't think that was the smartest shot. Now we got it tied up at 18.
Beautiful pump fake. Kids, remember, when you're playing pump fake under the basket, gets a wide open shot almost every time. Tied up at 18.
And again, I mean, with DG, we're going to have to play high here to not give up a 3. A 3 wins it for DUX Gaming, so we can, ill afford to give up a 3 with badge. It's going to be tough, but we're going to have to try our best here.
B-Rich trying to hold tight to Killy. Killy looking for space, finds it, pulls up for the 3, and hits the shot. Game 1 goes to DUX Gaming. Killy with the dagger at the end. And again, Chris, you're talking a little about it here as we come back to Caster Cam here, is that Killy is definitely the player to watch out for. He is an outstanding 2K player on 3v3 with that open court. I mean, he's really the guy to keep an eye on here for DUX Gaming, and it's a guy that WizDG is going to have to game plan around to try to hold him to as little points as possible.
Yeah, I mean, Killy is a big reason he was even drafted by DUX Gaming is because of his 3v3 prominence. He's played it a lot in the offseason, whether it be park, stage, 3v3 tournaments. So he's really experienced, and he has 2 high IQ defensive players behind him, and Beezus and Majestic. They're both 2K League veterans, and they both swing. It's kind of a similar matchup in that sense with us. They're going to have great chemistry, great IQ of years of playing 2K competitively. So they're really just going to let Killy cook on the offensive end, and those 2 are going to be back there for defense. So it's a great combination of a lineup that they have out there.
Yeah, we were talking about it a little bit before we came on air with how rushed we were. Again, compliments to the 2K League. Thank you so much for that. But we're talking a little bit about this matchup because, like we were talking before, this is the team that WizDG beat to get their first ever 3v3 championship in league history. But this is a very different Dukes gaming team now going forward. They have that experience. They played incredibly well in the group stage as well. And it feels like this one's going to be a lot closer. Obviously, it's not going to be a sweep in favor of Wizards D.G in this go around, as game one did go to Dukes Gaming. But that just kind of goes to show how these teams are able to evolve and try different archetypes and different play styles against, let's say, a Wizards D.G or other NBA 2K League teams out there to try to find different ways to throw the other team off and make it a competitive series.
Absolutely. And to add on to that too, I mean, Killy was the player of the week last year for 3-3 in the NBA 2K League. I think he averaged 14 points a game. So going up against the Wizards D.G team, we don't have a lockout there right now. We have two guards with no real defense in their builds and their archetypes. So it's going to allow Killy to ISO. It's going to allow him to cook, get those fades off going left or going right. So I think Coach Pat in the huddle after game one, I think he's going to just try to get a little bit more help from the other two players who aren't guarding Killy. Just try to shrink the floor a little bit as best they can. I know it's really difficult in 3v3 because the floor is already so spaced as it is. But I'm interested to see if Coach Pat decides to, maybe tinker with the lineup a little bit. If we go down 0-2, hopefully not. But it's going to be interesting because Killy is really hard to guard without, any defense in your archetype.
Absolutely. And while we are waiting for game two, let's go ahead and just take a quick look here at the rules of what we can expect in 3v3. Slightly, again, we touched on a little bit there in game one. It was a more condensed game one here for us here on the official co-stream here. But it's a best of 5 series. You can make substitutes in between games. So just like Chris was saying, if Coach Pat needs to make a lineup change, this is going to be the time he can do it in between game 1 and game 2, in between game 2 and game 3, and so on and so forth there. 6 fouls per player. On the 6th foul, you get replaced by an AI player. And as we talked with B Rich last week on the co-stream live from Capital One Arena, you definitely don't want that to happen. Apparently, Dayfry has gotten close multiple times, picking up 5 fouls in these 3v3 games. Definitely do not want the AI player in there because it's essentially just a wide open shot every single time. And again, first 21 points by 2 equals a win, and you need 3 of them in this series to punch your ticket on to the next round. Again, we'll take a quick look at what was the starting lineup for game 1. Again, we don't know if anything's going to change here in game 2. We will find that out in real time as you do, as the viewers are. You guys are going to find out at the same time we find out. So, but as of right now, it's Dayfry, Nudini, and B Rich for the defending 3v3 champs, and for Dukes Gaming, it's Killy, Majestic, and Lord Beezus. Some of the best gamer tags in the 2K League on Dukes Gaming. Absolutely love it. As we are still waiting here for the restart here of game 2. And I click on the stream. That's, of course, of Cavs Legion. We don't want that game. We want the Wizards D.G game, which we are still waiting for that one to pop back up. A little bit longer of a delay here for game 2.
I'm not sure if it's a connection issue or maybe they just want everyone watching this since it's game 5 of best of 5, but I'm not sure either.
I would imagine they do. I mean, you don't pause you don't pause in the middle of a series. Like, what are you doing? You're going to throw off? Like, I mean, look, with Wizards D.G dropping game 1, this might be a momentum killer for Dukes Gaming if that is what they're doing.
Honestly, you might be right. It might actually work in our favor, so I'm not opposed completely.
Yeah, so I don't think we're actually allowed to show the Cavs Legion game against Hawks Talon. So we'll just kind of sit here and wait a little bit, but without really, we'll provide a little off Wiz DG content here. Cavs versus Hawks. It's game 5, tied, like you said, tied 2-2 in the series. Break this down a little bit for us. Who do you think is going to take game 5 here?
Yeah, well, this series is really interesting because Antoine is completely new to the Cavs Legion team. He was with Warriors Gaming Squad all last year and the beginning of this year, and he was an integral part of their success over the last year and a half. And he was, recently traded and in like a 3-way deal in favor of, a lot of players. So he's brand new with this team, and he's running point guard. And he's like Killy, he's their only scorer, the only guard on the court. So all the pressure's on him. He's never played like a point guard role in the league before, so first time on stage. I really had the Hawks coming out of this just because of, I felt like they would have more cohesion, more chemistry. But the fact that the Cavs have it here in game 5, they have to be feeling really good about themselves. And I wouldn't be surprised now to see them upset.
It's all tied up at 4 currently there in game 5, as it looks like they are going to wait for the end of this series. before they head back to the Wizards D.G game. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and ask permission to see if we can put this up. I don't think we can, but it doesn't hurt to ask, right?
It's a little bit confused on why they would even start game 1 knowing that this was going into a game 5. But that's neither here nor there. It's the 2K League at the end of the day.
Hey, sometimes, the best tournaments put. I mean, I'm trying to find an excuse for them, and it's not really coming together. It's just, Why do you start a series before the other one? I mean, the way they have these times laid out is because obviously they're playing for 15-minute games essentially. So it's a 1 hour block for 5 games, and if it goes all 5, then obviously it works out perfectly. It was supposed to be a 9 p.m. tip-off Eastern time here for Wizards D.G going up against Dukes, and they decided to tip off 20 minutes early. And now we're kind of in a holding pattern, and we're not totally sure why we're in a holding pattern, but our best guess is because game 5 here between the Cavs and the Hawks. And I mean, I don't necessarily blame them, but communication would be nice, But
yeah, and if I was management, if I was a coach or GM of Deuce Gaming, I would probably be arguing this in person in Indy, just because, like you said earlier, they had the momentum, and now everything's just going to go back to basically like a reset, even though they are up 1-0, and they're kind of getting the short end of the stick here, which might bode well for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of time to talk strategy, more time to break down what happened, what went wrong in game 1. Again, it was a close game all throughout. It came down to a game-winning 3 by Killy to seal the deal for game 1, which, I mean, at the end of the day, when it's a close game, that's something that you risk doing. The last time that Wizards G played Dukes Gaming in the finals, there were 2 games that were complete absolute blowouts. The other 3, or the other 2, pardon me, were incredibly close. They were 1-possession games that came down to the final shot of the game. So unless it's a blowout, it seems it's going to be very, very close in this 3v3 setup. But that's just the nature of 3v3. It's not like the 5v5 simulation that we're used to seeing in the 2K League. It's definitely that more arcade-like feel to it with the wide open space, and that's just the nature of the beast.
Absolutely. And I mean, every mistake, every turnover is magnified tenfold just because possessions are so limited and the score is so quickly to be reached. It really puts pressure, especially on your primary defender and your point guard. And for us specifically with Dayfry, I mean, all the pressure's on his shoulders. And if anyone can handle it, it's him. But, he's our primary ball handler and our primary defender. So it's really all on him to kind of make it happen on both ends. He's the engineer of both offense and defense.
Hawks Gaming have taken the 1-point lead here in game 5. It feels like that game is being slowed down quite a bit.
It is. Yeah, this game is definitely having a little bit more of a slow pace. We are getting some 3s in now, though. Hopefully it speeds up a bit.
It's a big 3 from Cavs Gaming. They take the 2-point lead, so 9 points away from punching their ticket to the next round.
And it's interesting to kind of see the meta switching back and forth. The first, tournament, it was kind of the lineups you're seeing now. And then when we won, a lot of people switched to the 2-guard lineup with no lockdown out there. And now teams are going back to kind of what they were running at the beginning of the first 3v3 tournament. So there's a lot of chess match going on between teams and figuring out the best lineups. But it seems to be working for a lot of teams. They're just going 1 guard and 2 kind of defender builds.
Absolutely. And again, if you're just joining us, first off, thank you for tuning in to the official co-stream of Wizards District Gaming here at the 3v3 Coinbase tournament for the Switch Open here, the 2K League. Shout out to all the new followers as well. I'm getting those notifications in chat. Big shout out to all of our new followers there. We are in a little bit of a holding pattern waiting for game 2. We're assuming that's because this game between Hawks Talon and Cavs Legion is currently in game 5. It's a 2-point game, 14-12. Check that, 16-12 now in favor of Cavs Legion. Cavs inching closer and closer to punching their ticket into the next round. Assuming as soon as this game is over, we'll be back with game 2. The series currently 1-0 in favor of Dukes Gaming. It was a close one, 21-18, with Killy icing it there late for Dukes Gaming, securing the win. And it keeps
And if
going
you're just a
back and forth.
casual fan of the 2K League, you can definitely root for both the Cavs and the Hawks. They've historically not been the best 2K League franchises. We're pretty blessed over here in DC with probably the best team of all time. I think that's safe to say so far. But these two teams haven't had that much success. To see both of them here matched up in an in-person event, Sweet 16, the chance to go into an Elite Eight, it's pretty cool to see.
It is a 1-point game, 18-17. Cavs holding on to the slimmest of margin. They are 1 3-point shot away, though, from securing the Game 5 win and the series win. They're going to go ahead and give up the 2, so it's still a 1-possession game here for Cavs. The next basket will win.
Yeah, I feel like it would have to be a monumental collapse here for the Cavs to lose. What?
Ooh, and C's comes back with a 3-point shot as well, ties it up at 20. Now you have to win by 2. This one's coming down to the wire. Antoine left wide open and hits the shot. Oh, my goodness. Cavs Legion come back to win. They hold on. That is icy. That was a dagger. Left them wide open. Did not hesitate. What a shot.
You can see the frustration on the Hawks. That's probably a possession that they're going to talk amongst themselves for the rest of the season. Just the two defenders in that pick and roll right there. They both, miscommunication. They both went with the roller and left the shooter wide open for the game-winning shot.
Wow, that one hurts. It's almost like they dared him to take the shot, and he was up for the challenge. He's like, "You're gonna leave me wide open. I'm gonna take the shot." And whoo, oh man. All right. Well, hopefully that means game 2 of our series will be tipping off here soon. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun here. We talked a little bit about it last broadcast, which felt like was forever ago, just with everything going on. With 3v3 being new to the 2K League, it presents a very unique opportunity here in the 2K League for traditional esports that we don't really see anywhere else that has a professional scene that is backed by their professional NBA organization or sport organization, I should say, is having the ability to have these semi-pro teams come in this 3v3 tournament and play against the best of the best in the pro build for NBA 2K. What does that do for a community that is already pretty big and pretty close knit, like within the 2K League or in the 2K community in general? What does that do in terms of competition or even more building that community even more with that ability to play against the pros?
Yeah, for sure. I think it just brings in a whole new audience. There's a specific segment of 2K who only plays Park, who only plays Stage, and they never even watch Pro-Am on Twitch. So now they're able to be involved with the league. Maybe they'll be drawn to watching the 5v5 aspect and then possibly, play it in the next iteration of 2K. But just the fact that they're able to, earn their ticket and earn their spot to go to an in-person event to compete against professional teams. And if nothing else, I mean, that just boosts their own stock, whether they want to go for the league or whether they want to just, have a career on Twitch, just getting your name out there. It just brings in a whole new audience, like I said. And, a lot of the younger generation of 2K players, Park and Stage 3v3 and 2v2 is all they know. So that's what they're drawn to. That's what they're interested in. So to give them a huge platform, like you said, that's backed by the NBA, to come to in-person events to compete against professionals like Dayfry, like Nudini. It's pretty special. And I hope that they continue to build on it and continue to refine it as the years go on, because it's definitely a vital part of the community as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to hit on something that you mentioned there, with that 3v3 aspect and the ability to kind of get your name out there, whether you want to try to build yourself as a streamer or try to get your name in there for the future draft for the NBA 2K League. I had a fan come up on the concourse before we went live for that series against Hornets Venom and start asking questions about, hey, how do I get recognized? How do I get a chance to try to compete in this league? And that's great advice. If you want to grind out the 5v5 on NBA 2K, build your stats, stream, get your videos out there, get your VODs out there, get involved with the community, kind of start to build that reputation. And then when the combine comes, that's a great way to build what you have into the combine and put on your best show. But with 3v3, this is a direct way to see how you stack up currently against the pros, at least in the 3v3 scene. Because if you're good enough, you'll be going up against them. You'll be going up against them in the group stage. You could be going up against them in the knockout round, and that's where you can really make a name for yourself as well. So yeah, I think that's some great advice. What we're going to do here, just because, you know what, I'm very proud of us. We did about 15 minutes worth of filler, and we're still waiting to find out what in the world's going on. So we're going to throw it to a quick BRB screen as we try to find out a little bit more here what's going on with our series against DUX Gaming. It is currently 1-0 in favor of DUX Gaming after a 21-18 loss for Wizards D.G. We're going to throw it to a quick break. We'll be right back, hopefully soon, with Game 2 of this series. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the NBA 2K League on the official co-stream of Wizards District Gaming. All right, we are back. Game 2 underway after a nice lengthy delay, which we're assuming is to Game 5 of the other series there. As I believe that was Nudini starting off there for Wizards D.G. I was not looking at the screen, but either way, it's 2-0 in favor of the good guys here in Game 2.
And it looks like the Wiz did decide to keep their Game 1 lineup, which I completely agree with. I don't think they should have changed after a tight loss. I think they can easily come back, even up the series here, and then we have a best of 3 on our hands.
Killy sealing the deal for DUX Gaming in Game 1. The player Wizard G will have to keep an eye out for, and he rattles home a 3. Had the wide open shot. He decided to take it. Wasn't as clean as he possibly wanted it, but it's a 1-point lead for Dukes. Now B-Rich looking to respond off the glass and in, and it's a back and forth game here early.
The emphasis in that long break between game 1 and now, I mean, they had been saying no more less threes from Killia. He got his badge, as quick as you possibly can in a 3v3 points wise. So limiting them to 2s is going to be really important for us, just because we're not going to get up a lot of 3s ourselves. So let's just keep it a back and forth 2-possession game.
B-Rich for 3, the quick shot there. It's another dagger there. 7-5 now in favor of Wizards D.G.
We're just gonna have to make sure we, get stops when we can and keep scoring, because we know Dukes is gonna score just like that.
Killy putting on the skills there with the ball, finding the open lane, ties it up at 7. Now B-Rich over to Dayfry, finding Houdini down low, gets blocked from behind by Majestic. The ball picked up by Dukes Gaming. It's Killy, be fouled by Houdini, called for the reach.
And the interesting thing about what Dukes is doing is they're basically keeping Killy away from the pick and roll. He's just sprinting the corner, and they're having their 2 best defending builds constantly guarding pick and roll when they can. So it's making it tough on us to score.
And Killy can't hit the 3. It's a loose ball. B-Rich trying to pick it up. Can't hold on to it. Bounces off. Finds Killy. Now over to Majestic in the corner. Cross court pass. Killy guarded by Dayfry. All tied up at 7-5 on the shot clock. Down low is Beezus. The reversal's good. 9-7 for Dukes.
And this is a critical point here. We could have got that turnover right there. We didn't. It's going to be important for us to keep scoring. Oh, bad turnover there.
Bad turnover. B-Rich did everything he could have. Tried to steal the ball back. Goes off of his hand and out of bounds. Dukes hold on to possession.
Just feels like a 3 would be a dagger here. So I just want to make sure to just run Killy off the 3-point line as best we can.
Killy looking for space. Houdini come over to help. Tips the ball. It's a loose ball. Goes out of bounds, but Houdini was the last one to touch it. Dukes will hold on with 8 seconds on the shot clock.
And again, the floor is spaced so much, it's hard to help and recover. It's a matter of just kind of baiting the point guard into making a pass and possibly getting a passing lane steal.
Killy's long 2 is no good. Majestic on the kickback. Takes the 3. No good. Loose ball picked up by Killy. Third chance is good for Dukes Gaming. That one hurts. It's 12-7 now for Dukes.
Kind of a fluke rebound, long rebound out to the top of the key, but if you have 3 chances in a park game and a park possession, you're probably going to score.
Majestic called for the reach in on Houdini.
Composure's definitely big right now. We're not out of it, but we just have to keep scoring and hope to get a few stops and get out in transition.
B-Rich finds space, takes it himself, cuts the lead to 3.
And again, look how early Killy gets his badge. They have 12 points on the scoreboard, and he already has badge. He's going to have it probably the rest of the game, if not up to the final moment. So it's going to be tough on us. And that's a great steal by Dayfry right there.
Big turnover finding Houdini. That was a dangerous pass. Dayfry pulls it back out, looks to reset again. No backcourt either in 3v3. Dayfry back to Houdini. Looking for space. Tight defense here from Dukes Gaming. Dayfry goes into the corner, finds space, puts the 3 up, bangs it home. We're all tied at 12.
That's the great equalizer. Dayfry is coming up huge again. Nothing that we don't expect from him on stage. Getting the absolutely huge steal on a badged point guard, and then getting the leaning 3 on the other end to tie it up at 12.
Now Dayfry forces the turnover. Killy looking to apply pressure. Finds B-Rich, kicks it back out to Dayfry. Trying to get away from Killy. Now it's Houdini in the corner. They have a chance to take the lead back. It's the one-handed jam from Houdini. It's a 2-point lead for Wizards D.G.
I don't care if Dayfry doesn't score another point the rest of the series. If we win the series, he deserves most valuable player of the series for those last 3-4 possessions he's had offensively and defensively. That's elite.
Beezus finds Killy on the restart. Down by 2. Killy pulls up the 3, front rim and out, but Beezus with the rebound finds Majestic in the corner. Can't get it to go. It's another offensive board. Majestic will take 2. Can't get it to go. Beezus putting on a rebounding show down there. Has another chance. Loose ball picked up finally by B-Rich, but he can't get the pass off, and Killy intercepts the pass. Now B-Rich called for the foul.
That's one of the craziest sequence of events you'll ever see in a 3v3 game. Wow. Okay.
Now smart heads up play by Dayfry, being patient, kicks it out. Houdini for 3, can't get it to go. That would have been massive if that shot went for Dini, but instead Dukes with the rebound.
Dayfry is playing his absolute butt off right now, and man, it's getting gritty out there, as they say.
And Killy with a quick catch and shoot. Dukes with a 1-point lead. Dayfry up the court, takes it himself. We're going back and forth. It's another lead change, 16-15 now for Wiz. It's a loose ball, but it's called for a reach by Nudini.
The good thing about all those missed shots and rebounds and long possessions is it wasted Killy's badge. She really only got one shot out of it, which is, amazing for us in a 3v3 game. And now it looks like Beezus has his glass cleaning badge, so he'll be able to see if there's a missed shot, he'll be able to see exactly where the rebound's going. So that'll make it a little bit tougher on us to grab the board.
Killy moving the ball around, looking for that space. Quick pass out to Lord Beezus. A little bit of traffic there. Dayfry called for the reach.
I mean, I think it's safe to say we have the momentum right now after killing that badge off, and Dayfry coming up pretty huge. So it's important to keep that momentum up right here and not give up a three.
Killy long pass to Majestic, guard by B-Rich. Down low, it's Killy in the corner on the baseline. The mid two. Back rim and in 17-16 for Dukes Gaming.
I'm sure we'll take that right now. We're scoring pretty easily on the offensive end, so to limit threes is the most important thing on defense.
B-Rich moving Killy around, picks the ball up, finds Dayfry. Dayfry for the deep three, can't get it to go. Nudini's there to clean the glass. Kicks it back out. Dayfry in the corner, gets Majestic to jump in the corner, can't get it to go, and Beezus with the rebound. The long pass, Majestic, two-handed jam makes it 19-16, and Dukes Gaming down to their final shot.
We had a couple missed opportunities there. Nudini had a chance to go in for a dunk, and then we had B-Rich open on the right wing, but B-Rich coming huge with the wing three, ties it up in 19.
So it's going to come down to the wire here in game two. Wizards D.G can win here and tie the series up at 1 apiece. Killy looking to move the ball. Guarded by Nudini. Lord Beezus down low. Loose ball picked up. Wizards D.G have a chance. Nudini being patient. Passes to B-Rich, but it's picked off by Majestic. And they're going to reset and go back to Killy. A great chance for Wizards D.G turnover, but Dayfry again coming up big, and Beezus called for the foul. Wizards D.G have a chance.
Dayfry has 5 steals on a non-defensive build point guard in a 3v3 game. This is probably the most insane defensive game I've ever seen someone play.
Nudini for the win, gets it to go, and we're all tied at 1 game apiece.
Oh my gosh, that's an insane game by Dayfry. Like, I'll just keep saying it. 5 steals in a game up to 21 on a build that only has shooting and playmaking in it is absolutely crazy. And he just bailed out Nudini there, and wow, that was such an amazing performance.
B-Rich coming up big, 10 points, 1 rebound, and an assist. Nudini, 7 points, 1 rebound, but obviously the MVP of game 2, like you were saying, Chris, Dayfry, 5 points, 5 assists, 5 steals, and he always says he only had 3 fouls. It felt like he had a lot more than 3, but we'll go ahead and take that. But what an absolute monster of a game for Dayfry. Those 5 steals bringing Wizards D.G back into this one and tying the series up at a game apiece.
And think about it. If you're Dukes Gaming, you have so many chances to win that game. Killy has badge of 12. When they had 12 points, he should have had it for the rest of the game. They had a chance to win multiple times at the end of the game. They had, a glass cleaning badge matchup on a point guard in the paint. Dayfry gets the strip and the score. That has to be a morale killer for them. It was the difference between being up 2-0 and being in a series clinching game, and now it's 1-1. It's back to square, back to even, best of 3 now. And I think we have all the momentum just like we did in that game, and I think we can carry that on for the rest of the series.
B-Rich a perfect 4 for 4 from the floor and 2 for 2 behind the arc as well. B-Rich could not miss in that game, coming up big for the team as well. Let's just hope that we don't have like another 15-minute delay between game 2 and game 3 like we had with game 1 and game 2. I think we're the only series going on in the 2K League right now, so hopefully that'll be a quick turnaround there as well. But Chris, you mentioned a little bit prior to going into game 2 as well, with Coach Pat having that option to possibly sub out B-Rich, who didn't play that much in the group stage. It was mainly just awkward in there. But after game one, it wasn't a bad enough performance in order for head coach Pat Crossan to make that change. I mean, what does that do for you as B-Rich being in that position, knowing that, hey, I'm kind of coming into this role here, coming in for last year's Defensive Player of the Year in this 3v3 setup where I haven't really played that much in the group stage, and now here we are in the knockout round. We dropped game one, and Coach Pat's going to let me go again in game two.
Yeah, for sure. And I think if anyone in the league is kind of equipped to handle, maybe that back and forth and that uncertainty, it's B-Rich, somebody who's been a sixth man on a championship team, and then he transitioned into being a starter and a key integral piece at that shooting guard position last year. So he's used to, playing both roles. He's used to kind of being a coach, a player coach off the court, and he always keeps himself ready to whenever his number is called. And those players are hard to find because a lot of players who kind of, sit or, they don't play every single game in every mode, they kind of get down on themselves. They always want to kind of be the center of attention. But with B-Rich, he's just team centric, team first. And he'll always be ready. Like you said, he hasn't, played a lot of 3v3, but, he comes out here on stage 2 for 2, and he's not just shooting standstill catch and shoots. He's shooting, leaning shots in transition, which are some of the most, more difficult shots to time in the game. So for him to be ready, he's been practicing, he's been labbing, and just ready, like I said, when his name is called.
Yeah, absolutely. And then again, we'll touch a little bit here more on Dayfry, with those 5 steals. Looking here at the stats as well, 3 of those steals potentially came off of Killy, who had 3 turnovers in that game. So not only is Killy the leading scorer in last game for Dukes and in the game overall with 13 points, he also had the most turnovers, and that's kind of what happens when your team. I'm not going to say they're one dimensional, but everyone knows Killy is the guy for Dukes Gaming in 3v3. So it's kind of like you're going to put a little bit more focus on him. So are we surprised he turned the ball over 3 times, or is that focus on their kind of like, okay, well, he's going to turn the ball over just because of who he is, and they're going to be guarding him a lot closer?
I'm not surprised he turned the ball over 3 times. What I am surprised about is that his 3 turnovers were 3 kind of pluck steals by a player that doesn't have any pickpocket in their archetype. Normally, if you see Kelly with 3 turnovers, I would, it's probably at least 2 of them are going to be passing lane steals, and not just on-ball plucks. So that has to be extremely frustrating for Kelly to be getting just stripped by a player that has absolutely no business stripping you 3 times in a game, especially if you're on a point guard build.
Absolutely. And looks like we should be loading up here into game 3. And there we go. We'll switch it on over here. Series tied up at 1 apiece here in game 3 of this best of 5 series. Wizards D.G taking game 2 after dropping game 1. As Dini's called for the reach in here early in game 3.
And if you do see a rebound discrepancy, that's something else from the last game. Beezus had like 7 rebounds to Nudini's 1, but Beezus is on a rebounding archetype, and Nudini's on a shooting stretch archetype. So just inherently, Beezus is going to be able to grab more rebounds and get more animations with his archetype.
Killy forces the 3 as the shot clock was coming down. They'll get the reset after the rebound. Loose ball. It's a reach called on Dayfry. A little bit of a slower start here between these 2 teams. No points as of yet. Game 2, a little bit more of a faster paced game. This one a little bit slower as Killy pulls up for 3 and will drain home the first points of the game. It's 3-0.
Tough one right there. He didn't green it, but he still made it first possession with no takeover in his build. It could have easily been off, but tough break for us right there.
B-Rich being patient at the top, guarded by Killy. Dayfry looking to come set the screen, looking for space. B-Rich loses the ball. Killy going the other way, decides to pull it back just a bit, waiting for numbers. Beezus is there. Cuts behind Nudini, makes it 5-0 for Dukes Gaming.
And that's something us players, and me being a former player, we call that 2K logic, where if one game a team gets all of the steals, 2K kind of rewards the other team the next game with the steals. So hopefully that doesn't happen to us here, and we start getting plucked out of nowhere.
Killy's missed shot picked up by Beezus, back out to Majestic, finds Killy. Looks to go in the corner. Dayfry holding close. Beezus now. 3 seconds from the elbow, rattles it home, 7-2 for Dukes.
And that's a great defensive possession. Killy just made a good move at the end of the shot clock to get to the mid-range, which a lot of players don't get to, and is able to green the easy shot.
So you mentioned 2K logic. That reminds me of the old school game NBA Jam. It feels like whenever you got up big, the game forced the other team to come back by making ridiculous shots no matter where they shot it from, just to make the game close.
Absolutely. The developers swear, we talk to them every year in 2K, that there's no momentum shifts or no logic, as we say, but it's there. We know it's there, whether they say it or not.
9-4 for DUX Gaming, holding on to a 5-point lead. Gets the defending 3v3 champs. B-Rich looking for space, finds it, takes it in, and gently places it through the hoop. Makes it 9-6 for DUX Gaming.
Sure, and we were in a little bit of a similar situation last game, but Killy Green's a 3 there. It's going to be tough. They haven't doubled up right now at 12-6.
Big possession here for Wizards D.G. A 3 would cut the lead in half, make it a 1-possession game. Dayfry looking for space. Nudini cutting down low, and now circle back around. Good rotation for Wizards D.G. Dayfry, the off-balanced long 2s, no good. Majestic with the rebound finding Killy.
This just feels like one of those games where it's going to be like really tough on us to get open. So it's going to come down again to the defensive end. We're going to have to get some stops and get easy points, get B-Rich out in transition for a 3.
Majestic shot is no good. Long rebound out to Dayfry. Takes the 3 and hits it and cuts the lead. 2-3. It's a 1-possession game.
Absolutely. The easiest offense we can get right now, and usually always, is in transition. Like DUX is doing a really good job of switching and just not allowing us to get up 3s. And they have 2 big players in the pick and roll. As another still comes in from Dayfry. Unbelievable.
Goes with the reverse dunk. Gotta love it's a 1-point game. Wizzy G clawing their way back into game 3.
I can't believe what I'm seeing with Dayfry. You just do not see this on the build that he's on against the point guard. Nonetheless, it's actually really mind blowing.
Killy down low to Beezus. 3-point game again for DUX.
But it's manageable. It was a 6. Now it's back to 3. So if we score here, it's a 1 possession. We got to stop. We're back in the lead. So it's a very manageable point right now.
Dayfry looking for space. Will kick it back out to B-Rich, guarded closely by Killy. Finds a way around him, but kick it back out to Dayfry. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Nudini up and in off the glass. As Killy gets
right there.
Killy gets a notification. His controller's running a little low.
Hopefully that's not the case for us.
Killy the deep 3, can't get it to go. Beezus with the rebound, kicks it back out to Killy. Looking for a second chance opportunity, back out to Beezus. Majestic down low, off the glass, can't get it to go. A missed opportunity there. Now Wizards D.G. B-Rich all alone takes the 1-point lead, 15-14 for Wizards D.G.
I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea how Majestic missed a wide open layup with no intimidator or rim protector near him. This series is very, very odd to me, but so far so good for us.
I think Majestic might have picked up my player from 2K and tried to play with him, which I don't recommend. My player's not very good. B-Rich, guarded by Killy, forces the turnover. Now a chance to extend their lead. Majestic down low. Good heads-up pass from Killy. Makes it 18-15.
And you see Beezus again with his glass cleaning badge, meaning he'll be able to see where rebounds go, so it'll be tough on us on the defensive end. If we do get stops, he'll be able to grab the board pretty easily, especially without rebounding on the floor in our archetypes.
Dayfry looking to apply pressure, looking to force another turnover. Killy, mid-range jumper, no good. And Nudini beats out Lord Beezus, who's called for the reach and on the rebound.
That's just a great box out right there. It's just fundamental basketball in real life and 2K. Boxing out is super important.
Dayfry kicks it out to B-Rich for 3. Hits it, makes it 20-18. B-Rich with the clutch 3. Now, even if DUX hits a 3, they still can't win because it has to be by 2. Killy turns the ball over. Dayfry running quickly, grabs the ball, kicks it back out. B-Rich picks it out, finds Dayfry the chance to win it on this possession and take the series lead. B-Rich, Nudini, glass, no good. Oh. So close to sealing game 3 for Wiz DG. Now Killy loses the ball again. Dayfry is a madman, and B-Rich seals it for the 2-1 series lead for Wiz D.G, but Dayfry again coming up massive on the defensive end of the ball.
I literally cannot believe my eyes. I wish we had kind of I wish we were there, flies on the wall in person to see Dave Fry just reacting to all this in person. I mean, we both know he's going absolutely bananas in person with all these steals, and it has to be rattling Killy. I'm not gonna lie, he has to be absolutely out of his mind. Dave Fry, I mean, I know a Defensive Player of the Year can't be awarded tonight, but I think we should kind of do away with that and just give it to Dave Fry. I mean, his defense tonight is impeccable. You can't play any better defense on a build again that does not have defense in it at all.
Absolutely, and for fans here in the DMV area, if you were not aware, opening up in the fall of 2020 is this brand new state of the art esports space right next to Capital One Arena, just on the north side of it in the Chinatown district of Washington D.C. District E. That is going to be a fantastic esports venue. Obviously, they're going to be able to use it for other activations for the Washington Capitals and for Wizards, for the NBA Wizards, Mystics activations as well, and everything else that takes place there at Capital One Arena. That'll be a pre and post game space as well. But for Wiz D.G, the ultimate goal is to have home games for Wiz D.G in this space where people can come sit in the crowd and witness what makes 2K League insane, which is that stage play. I mean, it's one thing to sit here and watch on Twitch. It's one thing to sit and watch on your TV, but Dayfry in person on stage is an absolute monster. And that's one of the great things that I personally love about the 2K League is the fact that these players sit maybe 5 to 8 feet away from each other on stage. You can hear what everyone is saying. You can see their face. You can see their body language. And Dayfry has no problem standing up and letting you know when you messed up or when he's going to make you mess up. He's a very intimidating person, not just in game, but on stage as well. That's going to be an amazing treat for people here in the DMV area once District E opens up to actually see Dayfry in person.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. And someone, speaking from a former player, when, like, let's say, for example, you're Killy and you're turning the ball over and, it might be fluke or whatever, but, if you have somebody standing up across the aisle from you and just screaming at you, telling you that you're bad at the game, that, you shouldn't be here and whatever else Dave Fry is saying, probably a little bit harsher than that for, our friendly viewers here. But, it rattles you. It makes you play out of your element. When you're playing at home or, playing in the comfort of your own, studio in your respective city, you don't have all that. So, it's a completely different environment. And like you said, like it's a sight to see as a fan. It's just so cool to kind of have players like that on your side who are not afraid to bring the emotion and bring the fire and passion for the game. And it just rubs off on everybody else. And it's a really cool thing to see.
Yeah, I remember watching Dayfry back in season 1 when he was with Mavs Gaming. And I just remember seeing him on stage. I was like, wow, Wiz D.G could use like that kind of personality on stage. And not saying they did not have that, but just Dayfry is just such a powerful presence on stage that if your team is not doing well, if your team needs a bounce back, it feels like with his energy alone on stage, in between breaks, in between games, in between possessions, with him getting up and firing you up and kind of, trash talking the other team. I mean, that's a big momentum change also. I mean, it's like you said, it's one thing to play in the comfort of your home or the comfort of your home studio on remote play, but in person, having Dayfry there, who is physically a tall and strong looking guy, if you can't tell from on screen here, very intimidating in person as well. So it's absolutely insane. And then you pair that up with the amazing defensive play that we've seen here today in this best of 5 series against Duke Gaming. And, it's easy to see why a lot of people consider him to be one of the best, if not the best, center or player in general in this league, just with the entire package that he brings to the table.
Absolutely. I mean, he was a winning player. I kind of, equate it to maybe like it's a different position, but like a Steph Curry who is super dominant before KD arrived, and now you see him just win a championship after KD left. And with Dayfry, it's like, yeah, like the past 2 seasons we've had JBM, arguably the best point guard in 2K League history. He retires, and Dayfry now is out here, doing, 3v3. He's doing the job of JBM, which is absolutely crazy. Obviously, if JBM was still on the roster, he would be running point guard in 3v3, but you just see the versatility of Dayfry. Back when I used to play Dayfry back in like 2K16, 2K15, 17, he used to not always be a center. He was a small forward. He was a point forward. He would handle the ball. So this isn't completely new territory for him. You guys just see him dominate at center on the league build because that's his best position by far. But if you ask him to handle the ball, he's more than able to do it and compete against the guys who only strictly play guard, such as Achille here. And you see it's paying off in a huge way.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are just hopefully a few minutes here away from game 4. It's a 2-1 series lead for Wizards D.G. Looks like the players are getting ready and get set back up to head into game 4. Again, it's insane to know how intense Dayfry is as I'm kind of looking off to the side monitor here. As he's prepping for the game, this man, no emotion on his face, looks cool, calm, and collected. He knows what's happening. He knows what's going on. Nudini has the same look on his face. Be-Rich as well. Experience will do that. Experience will always do that. It'll help calm those nerves, especially being on stage. And that says a lot to these players and their ability to adjust and adapt from remote play for qualifying to now in-person play for these games, as well as we are ready here for game 4. We will head in, and it's going to be a quick start here. Be-Rich for Wizards D.G. with the first points of the game. It's 2-1 in favor of Wizards D.G. It's the first to 3 wins, so Wizards D.G. have the chance to seal the series in game 4.
Absolutely. Getting off to an early 2-0 start like that.
Beezus down low. Nudini guarding close. Goes up, called for the foul. Dukes will go ahead and reset. Fresh shot clock as well. Killy handling the ball, guarded by Nudini. Kicks it down low. Beezus, the two-handed jam, all tied at 2. Still early here in game 4. But
yeah, and we've played from behind the past few games, so it'd be nice to get up to an early lead, play with, us play kind of front running and stuff, but Duke's going to make it hard on us. They're still hungry. They're only down 2-1, so it's not going to be an easy clinching game here for us by any means.
Killy again being pushed back, finds Beezus. Under 10 on the shot clock. Killy down low to Majestic on the baseline, puts it in the corner, puts the 3 up. Splashes it home, makes it 5-2 for Dukes Gaming.
I mean, at least what I can say is we're comfortable playing from behind. It's not going to rattle us. We've come from behind the last 2 games, so if anyone can handle it, it's us.
Especially with Dayfry and just his insane defensive play, forcing the turnovers, especially against Killy. Now Dayfry takes it himself off the glass and in. Goes 1v1 against Killy and cuts the lead to 1 point. It's Killy up the court. Has the lane, kicks over to Beezus. Loose ball. He'll pick it up on the baseline. The hook off the glass and in, makes it 7-4 for Dukes Gaming.
Yeah, and it's going to be important, again, for us to just keep consistent on offense because we can't really rely on Dayfry getting 5, 4, 3 steals a game. It's just not really plausible in the long term. So, our offense, it's been steady so far, but I'd like to see it a little bit more crisp here in game 4.
Dini with the jam cuts the lead back to 1. Still a long way to go here. Dayfry looking to put that pressure back on to Killy. Again, Dayfry, if you're just joining us, wow, you missed. The last 2 games are absolutely phenomenal. An absolutely stunning performance by Dayfry, helping seal the win for Wizards D.G. in both game 2 and game 3. Definitely something to keep an eye on here as this game continues. Will Dayfry do it again, essentially? Come up with those clutch turnovers late in the game.
Yeah, and like you said in the beginning, he's definitely not afraid to use his fouls. So he's not going to kind of leave the game with fouls in his pocket. He's going to use them, and it's been working out for him so far.
A big board for Nudini, kicks it out to Dayfry. DayFry double team finds Houdini wide open for the 3, drills it home, and it's a 9-7 lead for Wizards D.G.
That pop to the top has been kind of our most effective set in the half court set, if you will, in a 3v3. Dukes is having a hard time communicating on that, leaving Dini open.
It's a rebound by Beezus, puts it back up, all tied up at 9 apiece.
And again, I mean, Beezus is on a superior rebounding build, which makes it easier on him. But if we're scoring, we're living with those putback twos. That's not really going to kill us.
Now it's DayFry in the corner, now looking to go down towards the baseline. We'll pull it back up towards the top. Looking to reset, under 10 on the shot clock. DayFry looking for space, kicks it back out. Houdini for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound collected up by Majestic.
He did shoot an early right there, but a lot of times when you see an early come through, it's not connection or anything. It's just the game, especially for big men giving you an early release.
And Killy splashes the 3. It's a 3-point game. Dukes with the lead, 12-9.
Big possession again right here for us. It seems like a common theme around this 12-point mark for Dukes is when we start making our run. So maybe it's a good spot for us to be in.
Dini on the baseline with the jam. A 1-point lead now for Dukes. This is usually, like you were saying, Chris, right about the time that we start to see DayFry really step up a little bit more. Guarding Killy close. Back out to Majestic. B-Rich almost forcing the turnover. Instead gets called for the reach. About 15 seconds for Dukes.
The good thing is I don't think Killy is anywhere close to badge this game. And another great steal, this time by B-Rich coming in.
The pass over, takes a deflection off of Beezus, goes out of bounds. Wizards D.G will hold on to possession with 19 on the shot clock.
The fortunate thing for us right now is Killy doesn't really have any takeover progress, meaning his player is going to be a little bit slower with the ball and a little bit more loose with it. So, you know, he's shooting 1 for 4. He has a turnover. So it's going to be a lot harder for him to get quick off of pick and roll sets and get shots up.
DayFry being patient, finding Houdini. Hands the ball back off. DayFry guarded close by Killy. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Wide open. DayFry for 3. Gets it to go. The 2-point lead for Wizards D.G.
It might not be the prettiest offense, but when we need a shot, whether it's B-Rich, Houdini, or DayFry, we come up huge just doing the little things to get ourselves a little bit of space and being able to green a 3. That's a huge shot right there.
Rebound collected by Lord. Beezus puts it back up and in, all tied at 14 apiece. A common theme we've seen here in all of these games, they have all been close. It's come down to one possession. Houdini down low. The jam makes it 16-14. Inching ever closer to that magical number of 21. For Wizards D.G, if they do it, that will be the series win. It's a must-win for Dukes Gaming to force Game 5. Killy for 3, sinks it. They take the 1-point lead.
That's a big shot, but we don't have to kind of get a revenge through right here. We'll be more than take a 2. That will give us an opportunity to win the game next possession if we don't give up a 3.
DayFry over to B-Rich from the corner. He bangs it home. 19-17. It's a 1-possession game for Wizards D.G. Killy hits the 3, and now we'll take a 3-point shot to win it. It's 21-2. So a 2-point shot will not do it for Wizards D.G here.
And we're definitely going to look for a 3, but we'll probably, at the end of a shot clock, we'll probably have a dump down 2 if Dukes is forced to play high, just because they're not going to want to get gamed right here.
B-Rich for 3 for the win. Hits it. B-Rich comes up big. It's a 3-1 series win for Wizards D.G.
Unbelievable shot. Great confidence. The confidence to pull that right there, to know your shot timing, to believe in yourself, to believe that you're open and being able to green that. What a huge shot by B-Rich. All 3 players salute. They all played a hell of a series.
That was absolutely insane. Looking for the 3 to win, but like you were saying, if the shot clock runs down, they're going to look for that 2 instead. But B-Rich coming up clutch with ice in his veins, hits the dagger to seal not only the Game 4 win, but the series win for Wizards D.G. Wizards D.G advanced to the next round. Absolutely insane. They'll be playing the winner of Handles versus Knicks Gaming, which is a game that takes place tomorrow night. But again, can't say enough about this Wiz DG team again, especially Dayfry with his defensive play. And like you've mentioned it before, these archetypes for 3v3 don't really focus on defense. The attributes aren't there for it. The builds are all about point scoring, about getting separation, about speed, high percentage shots. That's what you're looking for. And here we are watching Dayfry with almost no defensive stats on his player, coming up big time after time again, forcing big turnovers, forcing second chance opportunities for WizGG, sealing the win in game 2 and game 3 with those turnovers, and B-Rich again coming up big there in game 4 to seal the win. But Dayfry, arguably the MVP of this series.
I don't even think it's arguable, to be honest with you. He is by far the clear and away undisputed MVP of that series. No one will ever tell me otherwise. And, some people, if you're not too familiar with the game, you might just think he's getting lucky or whatever the case might be. But, it's all skill what he's doing. He's timing his reaches perfectly to where, Killy's in certain animations to where he's, putting the ball out a little in front of his body. And that's when Dayfry makes his move to reach. It's not always going to work. Obviously, you see him get a foul call here and there, but it just puts so much pressure on Killy and on opposing point guards to be so crisp with their handles, especially in ISO situations, which Killy loves doing. So shout out to Dayfry, man. Shout out to the whole team. What a huge win. We're going to have 2 tough opponents in the next round, whoever comes out of there. And I have a feeling for some reason it's going to be Knicks Gaming because why not? We always play Knicks Gaming, whether it's 5v5 or 3v3, and we're so familiar with them, so that should be another fun series if and when that comes to fruition.
Yeah, Knicks Gaming and WizDG, find me a better love story right there. See, like you were saying, it always feels like they're playing against each other. It'll be fun to see that game tipping off tomorrow night. That is a 10 p.m. Eastern time, or if you're the NBA 2K League, roughly about 9:27 p.m. tip-off time for that. We'll keep an eye on that as well. So again, WizGG will play the winner of that game. Unfortunately, we don't know exactly what time the next game will be. Best guess would probably be Friday night would be the next game, just based upon how they usually end up doing this. Will be Friday, Saturday with the finale on Sunday as well. But we'll keep an eye out for that. Make sure if you're not following WizDG on social media, definitely do follow WizDG, Wizards D.G on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. I think it's all Wizards D.G on there. I'll have to double check there. I should know that. You think I should know that. But Twitter's definitely the place to go. Any changes to times, dates, opponents, anything, that is going to be the spot to go to, as well as the WizDG official Discord server as well. If you're not a member there already, make sure you hop in there. And again, we'll be taking on the winners of Knicks Gaming and Handles. Tips off tomorrow night. Chris, final thoughts here on this series. I mean, obviously the easy one to go to is Dayfry and his defensive play here. But give me another standout player here in this series for WizDG.
Absolutely. Well, we touched on both of them, honestly, but B-Rich, again, just reiterating what we said earlier, B-Rich just, coming off the bench per se, not playing a lot of 3v3 this year. And I believe it was game 2. He had a huge transition leaning 3 that kind of sparked the momentum back in our favor when it looked like Deuce was running away with it. He had big shots in game 3, and then as you see in the clinching game 4, he comes up huge with the catch and shoot. It wasn't a wide open, it was only an open, meaning there was a player in the vicinity. He could have easily jumped, but B-Rich had the confidence to pull that shot. If he pulls that shot and he misses or gets blocked, that could be going the other way for a 3 for DUX Gaming, and we could be going to a game 5. But he trusted in his instincts, and his preparation paid off greening that shot. And it's a huge shout out to B-Rich for just being ready, being prepared, and again being ready for the moment on stage, which a lot of players probably wouldn't be after not playing a lot of the game mode all year.
Absolutely. And we're taking a look at the stats here real quick. They're still not up to date yet. This game is over. But nonetheless, B-Rich essentially hits 2 3-point shots, including the game winner there. So again, it's another perfect game for B-Rich. He was 2 for 2 from the field, 2 for 2 behind the arc. Dayfry coming up big again, 5 points, 4 assists. The stat line there. And Nudini, 9 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. Nudini actually being tied with Killy for the point leader in that game. As soon as the 2K League updates their stats page, we'll find that out here. Probably once the stream goes offline, they'll probably finally update that. But nonetheless, pretty much it's as simple as that here in the 3v3 tournament. It's a best of 5, first of 3, and it's a 3-1 series win for Wizards District Gaming, the defending 3v3 champions. That is going to do it for our co-stream here tonight. Again, a big shout out to everyone who joined us here on the official co-stream for the defending 3v3 and back-to-back NBA 2K League champions, Wizards District Gaming. We'll be back again as soon as we find out what the schedule is going to be like for that next round after the matchup against Handles and Knicks. Again, pay attention to social media. We'll be back for that co-stream as well. So until next time, on behalf of Chris, my name is John. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.